So let's start at the very beginning. This is the base of which we're going to build our box, and this method of creating a Lego box will involve a lot of calculation. Now, calculation is very, very, very important when it comes to making these Lego things, because you need to calculate first how many markers you have, and if you use a brand like Copics, which I do, you will be collecting colors, which means you will need more space for more markers. So I usually make space for more markers than I would usually have. So if I have 50 markers, I would make space for probably about 100 markers. So if I keep collecting, I would just keep making that. Then there comes the calculation part. See this bottom part of the Copic marker, the green part? You're going to need, and most markers will be like this. I think I've calculated that most markers take up about these dots. I think they're called studs. I'm not saying this correctly probably, but I think they're called studs, and one marker, 4 of these studs. So you're going to want to take a couple of markers from your collection. I have a couple over here, and you're gonna just want to place them like that, just to calculate how many are in one and how many will fit in one, just like that. So what I have here is this base plate here and this base plate here of Lego, and this is what I've calculated to be about my markers and a little bit more than that, so it will hold about 90 of them. So you just gotta keep lining them up like that until you have finished it. Now you're going to want to create something like this. This is room for about 100 markers, I think. About 90 to 100. So if you have a specific number, you're going to want to be careful at this point. So I hope I'm explaining that well. It's basically more of these, and just calculate how many of them you're going to need. Now you're going to need to calculate it like this. So first you're going to need what you're going to need Lego wise. Listen to this, is more of the calculating part. You're gonna need a lot of these 1 by whatever you can find. So I got a 1 by 2 here, so it's 1 by 2. This is a 1 by, let's see, 10. This is a 1 by 10. This is a 1 by 2. There are 1 by 4s. Everything. You're gonna need a lot of these. Okay, bear in mind, I have not started on the actual thing. I'm just trying to make something as an example for you guys. Anyway, I've built just one layer of this Lego box. Now, basically what I have here is just one layer, so one story perhaps that you would call it. I don't know what you would call it, but this is more measurements. So you can just put the marker there and just put it there and just put this one marker, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you would see that these would hold 8 markers all together if put up like that. So you would see that holds that much, but there is going to be one more thing. This is my tutorial on how to make it. So you're going to need to split it around in the middle, just like that, and you're going to have to make something that goes in the middle. You'll see why we're going to be making that when we actually start making it. Like you're gonna see why we need to do this when we start making it. But you're going to need to make this thing that comes in the middle. You know what? Let me search for a 1. He's right here, just to fit right there. You're gonna need 1 right in the middle. So this is gonna be the base of what we're going to be doing. Then you're gonna need one of these long strips or whatever. Just make your own out of these. And what I've done is you're going to just need to put these strips of 1 by whatevers, just put it over like that, so that the Copic marker, when it comes to, it can just be put that way. But this is just a blueprint. Remember, this is not the final product. It's going to be much higher when you actually start building it. So what happens is there's going to be this strip here moved up a lot, and you're going to just need to go around and start building and building and building and building until it comes to around here, or near the cap anyway. So all the way up here. So I would consider this probably like a quarter. Yes, just about a quarter of, like 3/4 of the markers of the marker. So just build up all the way up to here. So that's basically how you're going to be doing this. You're going to be building just around and around and around. Just keep measuring it all the way up to here. You know, I just figured that with Copic, it doesn't need to be specific, because Copic has a weird shape. Like if you take a look at other markers, they're actually like completely rounded like that. But Copics, they're oval. So if you take a look at this, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. You could fit almost to it. As you can see, some parts are still showing, which is why when you put like 4 markers, it can still fit in here. When they're not 4, there's 1, 2, 3. It's like 3.5 of these. But with 4 of them, they can still fit because they're oval shaped and they're very narrow. So at the end, they probably could still fit. So again, it's not like specific, like it has to be 4, it's exactly 4, it's just about approximately. It doesn't need to be that. So you don't need to calculate it at exactly, because the coping marker is not going to fit like 4 anyways. So yeah. Okay, so as I started building, I realized I've forgotten one thing that I needed to point out about this before we actually get into it, and that is when you put in a marker, such as when you start building at this point, you're going to want to start building. Once you put the marker in, you're going to want to start putting in these to put in here as little compartments to put in. So I've got a 4 and a 3, and just continue putting that in like that. So you're going to need about 2 layers of these, just 2, okay? So you're going to need just this, that's all, just this. Slide it in, make sure there's 4, so there's space in there for the marker to rest in. Okay, so I've built up the box quite a bit, and what happens now is I've built it up to almost the cap, and what happens is I've made this huge long thing. As you can see, that thing down below, that in the blueprint example thing below, I built it up to about 4 stories. That way I could save some bricks if I ever need it in the project. Then I just put this thing over, and the reason that I've put this thing right over here, hold on, let me put this in first, is that when you put in, when you put, like, the reason why I have these things over is that when you put in the thing, it tends to fall over. So and it could fall over all the way down when there's only one marker in there. So I built this thing as like a barrier, so it just falls on like that. So that's basically how I'm doing this. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a whole bunch of these things. I'm going to be trying to make stuff in between here. Sorry, the camera's not catching it. Trying to make stuff in between here like that. And with that, we can do that so that it will just stay in here in this little compartment like that, and it won't move. Alright, so that's the final product of my Lego Copic box. I really hope you got something out of this. I know some of you have been really wanting to see it. I'll be posting this picture on Instagram, and I want to thank all of you for watching this video. I really hope you got something out of it. I know it's not the best way because it could break if you drop it all over the floor. It's going to take a very long time to build it back again. It's a very laborious process, but I really have a lot of fun with Lego, and if you have fun with Lego too, I know you'll enjoy making this little project. It's a nice little thing to do. I really actually love like renovating and just fine-tuning these things and reorganizing Copics. Is a really fun thing for me to do. So I know there are many Copic storage, all like compartments, units, stuff all over the internet. This is just my way of saving money, and it doesn't save time, but it definitely saves money, and I could use that money that I saved to buy more Copic markers. And as you can see, I have all these empty rows that I can use to put more Copic markers when I got it. So this is the current collection. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for weekly art videos, in which I use these Copic markers to make art, fan art. Request what you want me to see in the future videos. If you have any questions, email me. I'll be leaving my email down, my YouTube email down below, and also if you want to see how I sort these Copic markers, go over and check out my vlog channel, where I'll be leaving a link at the end of this video to my vlog channel, to that video where I actually organize these. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll be back next time on The Drawing Life.